Hi, my name is Kira Wen, and my group will be presenting on leadership as part of the Career Readiness series.
My name is Emma DeBurdine. I'm a junior marketing major on the field hockey team.
My name is Justin Brown, and I'm a senior kinesiology major on the football team.
Hi, my name is Kira Wen. I'm a junior biology major on the pre-med track, and I'm on the soccer team.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm a junior on the softball team, and I'm studying communications with a minor in leadership studies.
Hi, my name is Darby. I'm a senior on the lacrosse team, and I'm majoring in bioengineering.
So leadership is part of the career readiness skills, and NACE, the National Association of Colleges and Employers, defines leadership as the ability to leverage the strength of others to achieve common goals and use interpersonal skills to coach and develop others. Some of the sample behaviors that convey good leadership include being able to inspire, persuade, and motivate yourself and others under a shared vision, being able to seek out and leverage diverse resources and feedback from others to inform direction, being able to use innovative thinking to go beyond traditional methods, being able to serve as a role model to others by approaching tasks with confidence and a positive attitude, being able to motivate and inspire others by encouraging them and by building mutual trust, and being able to plan, initiate, manage, compete, and evaluate projects.
Along with the NACE definition, we also each personally define what leadership means to us. To me, leadership is motivating a group towards a common goal.
My personal definition of leadership is to influence people to follow and work together towards achieving an objective.
When I think of leadership, I think about guiding others to pursue a common goal, therefore achieving greatness.
My personal definition of leadership is taking initiative to set a standard for others in an encouraging manner.
And my definition of leadership is having the ability to influence others to achieve their goals.
As student athletes, we have a lot of experience in developing leadership skills, being a part of a team, but based on the discussions we have had as a group, we solidified 5 major qualities that make a good leader both on and off the field. Good leaders have an inspiring and motivational attitude, as well as being resourceful and able to respond well to feedback. They also practice creative and innovative thinking, along with confidence and positivity when completing tasks. Finally, a good leader encourages others and builds trust among their group members or teammates in order to achieve a common goal.
So it's really important to practice leadership if you want to become a leader in your careers or daily lives. One way you can practice leadership is to prioritize teamwork, to be someone that connects with others and take steps to be vulnerable. You share your vision and ideas with other people. You humble yourself and cooperate with others and take initiative to solve issues and set agreements in group settings. You also want to be someone that lays the groundwork for others to form strong bonds, even when it isn't comfortable for you. Another way to practice leadership is to be self-aware and to prioritize your personal development. You want to look for ways to improve and be aware of your strengths and weaknesses and take responsibility for where you fall short. You also want to be a decisive person and being willing to make tough decisions, even if it's not popular or doesn't earn you any praise. You set aside your desire to be liked by everyone and make decisions that will lead to productive results. Another way to practice leadership is to find your purpose. People are only going to follow you as a leader if they can resonate with your purpose. So you should assess why you are putting the time and effort into whatever it is you're doing, and be in touch with your goals and keep reminding yourselves of them. Identifying your purpose will keep you grounded and allow you to be confident, knowledgeable, able to empower others, and establish trust. Another way to practice leadership is to empower others and listen to them to make sure they know you believe in them and their abilities. You want to be able to set goals, plan, and execute. And then someone who is a leader will be action oriented. They don't just have ideas, but they're able to transform those ideas into realities. They're also communicative, transparent, comfortable with speaking in large groups, and able to address the concerns of others. They are collaborative and work well with others and consider a wide range of perspectives. They're responsible and resilient. They're able to handle adversity and keep going even when things get tough and bounce back from failure. They're intentional and do things deliberately with good reasoning, and they have good emotional intelligence and are able to manage themselves, their relationships, and their careers in healthy ways. It's also important to consider that leadership can be positional or it can be non-positional. Positional leadership means that you're in a position where you have a title as like a CEO or something, whereas non-positional means you're just influential in your daily life. So it's important to develop these skills whether you're in a position of leadership or not.
So somebody who thought was a great leader in my book was Jake Funk. He's a former football player here at the University of Maryland. And he had to go through a lot of adversity while playing here. And the way he led, he really led by example. And he really showed all of us on the team the best way to fight through adversity, which is always to have a positive attitude. And he would always try to inspire and push other teammates to work hard on and off the field. And now he went on to play for the Los Angeles Rams, and he continues to work on his leadership skills by being a leader on their special teams kick return squad.
So my personal example of leadership is Kyler Greenwald. Kyler developed her leadership abilities after tearing her ACL her sophomore year after having a successful freshman season. She took her leadership skills from the field to off the field, where she led by example for how to be a great teammate and pushed others to get the best from them. She started focusing on controlling the controllables, which is something that she tells our team to do to this day. And Kyler is currently a fifth-year vice captain on the team, where she's respected and trusted by the team and the coaching staff. And she continues to use her platform to spread awareness for mental health and cancer research.
The last example on the slide is Taylor Wilson. So as you can tell, all three of these individuals went to University of Maryland and played a sport here. And we wanted to highlight, in our own personal opinion, how our teammates have impacted us in our daily lives by being either somewhat leaders on the team, whether it's, as Kira mentioned, whether they have a title or not. So Taylor Wilson did serve as a captain her junior year, but even when she was not a captain, she was an advocate in times of need when we were facing adversity through systemic racism and fighting against it. And she was an ally for everyone. She wrote many articles and gave many presentations on how to be an ally and how we needed to fight back against this racism. She currently works for the Baltimore Ravens in community relations and is pursuing a master's degree in sports management from Georgetown University. So outside of being athletes, there's obviously many leaders that are in our world. One of them, Martin Luther King Jr., who many people obviously know. But if we look back at the NACE definitions and the different ways that we can be a leader through NACE, we see that Martin Luther King Jr. inspired, persuaded, and motivated himself and others under the shared vision. So he used his platform, or the lack of platform he had in the beginning, to build a platform and spread awareness to others. He used innovative thinking to go beyond traditional means. He motivated and inspired others by encouraging them and by building mutual trust in his followers and the people. He seeked out and leveraged diverse resources and feedback from others to inform direction. So he led his people in the direction to fight against racism. Sue Sherburne is the Senior Associate Athletic Director, and she works with academics and student development as long as being the Senior Women Administrator for the University of Maryland. And she's a very good example of having the title of being a leader, but also then portraying it on another level. She serves as a role model to others by approaching tasks with confidence and a positive attitude, uses innovative thinking to go beyond traditional means, motivates and inspires others by encouraging them and by building mutual trust, and by planning, initiating, managing, and completing and evaluating projects.
So some supporting resources to work on your leadership skills are the Maryland Made Leadership Academy, starting your student organization, SAC, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. And then there's also some non-positional leadership that you could get involved in at the Stamp Student Union Leadership and Service Learning Opportunity Center. So all of these, the best way to really develop your leadership skills is just to put them in practice. And that's what all of these resources help you to do. The Maryland Made Leadership Academy is literally a program dedicated to helping develop your leadership skills for student athletes. And starting your student organization, that's literally putting your leadership into practice by starting something. And a great example of this is Darby Moore. She's a women's soccer alum. She started the Pre-Help Terps. And another example is the Worldwide Terps organization. And for the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, it's a great way to just go after a leadership role by either being a representative for your team or a SAC officer or both. And at the Stamp Student Union, there's lots of leadership books and podcasts, and two great books or podcasts are the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey and This Is Your Life hosted by Michael Hyatt.
So we've come up with a list of do's and don'ts for leadership that resonate with us through our experiences as student athletes. For do's, we have do lead by example and be someone that people want to follow. Do set sensible goals and not extreme goals that are likely not to be achieved. Do be optimistic and positive, but don't be fake positive when things aren't really going as well as you want others to think. And do be prepared and be prepared for anything. And a few of our don'ts are: don't ignore your team's feelings and make sure that they feel heard. Don't talk more than you listen. Make sure that you're listening to every single member of your team. Don't blame others for your mistakes, and take ownership for yourself. Don't isolate yourself from your team, and make sure that you're taking everyone on your team into consideration.
The next thing we went over is discussing potential interview questions. The first one is, can you tell me about someone who has shaped your leadership style? And in this, we discussed making sure in your answer that you answer with someone thoughtful and identify what kind of leader they were or still are. And then continuing on to explain what specifically they did, what they said, or how they carried themselves to be a great leader. And then finally connecting those strengths of theirs with your own individual leadership skills and how you would apply these skills to the company, internship, or graduate school that you're applying to. The next question we discussed was, how do you think that your leadership skills could apply to what we do at blank company name? Some of the important aspects of the answer that we discussed were, here it is important to highlight how your experience on a team has strengthened and shaped your leadership abilities, because that's something that as student athletes we have developed in comparison to other students. And then also researching the company's goals and mission to ensure that your personal leadership experience can apply to what they're trying to achieve at that company.
So on this slide, we really wanted to highlight some reflection questions that you as an individual can look at and say, am I a good leader right now? How can I become a better leader? So one question is, what are 2 opportunities for growth for you as a leader? How are the skills continuing to be developed? So you can think about right now, how are your skills as a leader good, and how can they become better so that you can be maybe in a positional type of leadership with a title, some sort of authority. Next is, how does your leadership philosophy support delegation of tasks across the workplace? So one thing a lot of people look for in leaders is the ability to delegate certain tasks. As a leader, yes, you want to be responsible for a lot of different things. But in order to be successful, delegation is super important. What makes a good leader? What qualities or strengths come to your mind when you think of this? So this is kind of reflecting on your own, seeing if the strengths that you think of when come to mind, are you portraying these strengths as well? And the last question, what are your top 3 values and how does this impact your leadership philosophy? in order to be in a good position of leadership, you have to understand what your own leadership philosophy is. And if you can't highlight what that leadership philosophy is, then take some time to really understand your values and how you can develop a better leadership philosophy.
Thank you guys for following along through our presentation on leadership. We have listed our ways to contact us regarding the presentation or for other questions and concerns. So feel free to pause the video and write them down or keep a picture of them for your own use. Thank you for your time.